What's up, guys? Back for week 11. We've got Joey this week. Just 2 weeks ago, Joey this week, and next week we've got Sot, who is filling in for Australian Ryan, who unfortunately had to drop out of the league this season. Yeah, just 2 to go. I'm feeling good after that win last week. That helped bump my morale up a little bit, even if it's only a third win of the season. And I was looking at the playoff expectation spreadsheet. I don't remember what exactly it was called, but Luca made a spreadsheet with the current standings as they are, what the playoffs would look like. And I realized it's technically possible still for me to make playoffs, which is crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. It's a very, very low chance. I have to win both of my games, and I need several other people to lose. I think I need at least 2 people to lose their remaining 2 games. So if any of them get wins, I think I'm out. But so I'm not keeping my hopes up, but it is crazy that 2 weeks ago it's still technically possible for me to make it in the playoffs. And with a losing record, that would be I'd be 5-6 if I win my next 2 games. So I I don't think it's gonna happen. But the fact that it's technically possible is crazy. We've got Joey this week. I haven't fought Joey that many times, so I'm not super familiar with how he battles. Not sure how I feel going into this one. He's got some scary stuff on his team. Dragonite is, of course, a very scary Pokemon. Excadrill is too, but I think I've got some things that handle Excadrill very well. And Blaziken, honestly, Blaziken is the scariest thing on his team for me to handle because I don't really have anything that can take hits from it very well. Dragonite I can handle decently with Mandibuzz. Foul Play helps a lot. And I've got some other just generally bulky things and some ways to revenge kill it. Blaziken's harder. I don't have anything that can avoid the 2-hit KO from both of its stab moves, so it's a tough one. If it's Adamant and Life Orb, that is. So it's a tough one to handle. Excadrill and Iron Bundle and Zarude. Normally I'd be a little worried about them, but I think I've got my team can handle them pretty well. Iron Bundle, I've got some bulky special defensive Pokemon that handle it. Zarude, Mandibuzz is there, and without Terra Captain on Zarude, Mandibuzz takes that pretty well. And then he's got a lot of other stuff. I'm not really sure what to expect. Like Glamora, I'm not super worried with it, but it could do something crazy like power Meteor Beam and surprise me. I don't know. Clefable, the Dunsparce, Mew. Don't really know what to expect from Mew, especially. Like it's kind of unpredictable, so it's hard to know what to prepare for, really. A lot easier than handling a Terra Captain Mew, at least. Though Terra Captain Dragonite is incredibly powerful. So looking at his weaknesses and everything here on the team, he's got nothing super obvious, but one thing I did notice is he does have a lot of Pokemon weak to rock. He's got a couple of resistances, and Excadrill, one of his top tier Pokemon, he's got double resist it. Orthworm resists it really easily. But the great thing about that is that one of my rock types, Hisuian Arcanine, also is fire type, and it hits both of those resists super effectively with fire, both Orthworm and Excadrill. And it outspeeds both of them too. So Hisuian Arcanine looks really nice in this matchup, hitting a lot of things really hard. He doesn't really have a great switch in for it, so it's going to be tough for him. So that's one thing that's the main offensive thing that I'm utilizing in this match is Hisuian Arcanine. Speed wise, it's a little tough for me. There is a gap here between 105 and 124. Unfortunately, I still have to run a plus speed nature on Iron Valiant to still outspeed this Rude. I'm not bringing Cyclozar, so can't go. If I did, I would need a plus speed nature on it. It's got a couple like Iron Bundle, super fast. Rabombi's really fast. So those are a little tough speed wise for me. Here's the team. I'm definitely going to be relying on Booster Energy, Iron Valiant for speed control. That's a big part of the speed control in this one for sure. I'm a little worried. I don't have anything with a Scarf, so other speed control is a little bit difficult for me. You see, I have Trick Room on Diancie. I'm running a pretty cool Diancie set, Power Herb with Meteor Beam. So I can Trick Room and then Meteor Beam for some big damage and a boost, and then fire off some Moonblast and Earth Powers after that. So yeah, that set looks really, really good, and the Meteor Beam is huge. Orthworm is the only thing that actually resists or is immune to all of its moves. But Orthworm's special defense is very bad, and I think Joey's only brought Orthworm once this season, so I'm not super concerned about that. And I'm not super worried about handling it with my other Pokemon either. I think it's pretty easy for the rest of the team to handle. Especially like Slowking and Rotom don't really take much from it. And both Iron Valiant and Arcanine hit super effectively. So it's not really going to be a big tough thing for me to handle. But yeah, Diancie's moves hit really well. He doesn't really have anything great to handle the combination of moves there I've got on Diancie. So, and hopefully that Trick Room is able to keep some speed control for me with, Speed Boost Blaziken, Dragonite using Dragon Dance, Excadrill with Rapid Spin, and Iron Bundle just being fast, plus the possibility of a Booster Energy. All of those could really be tough for me to handle if I'm not, this Booster Energy on Iron Valiant is consumed, or I don't want to bring it in yet. So I'm hoping that Trick Room is able to, allows me to keep the speed control on my side. And as I said before, the Hisuian Arcanine is going to be a big part of the offensive core of this team. The Iron Valiant is probably going to take a little bit more of a backseat offensively. It's been kind of in the forefront, one of the main offensive wall breakers or sweepers the past few weeks, but it's probably going to be a little bit more in the background this time. Arcanine and Diancie are going to be the main ones to break through his team. Head Smash and Flare Blitz are incredibly strong against him. It's a pretty nice speed tier for Arcanine. It outspeeds Excadrill, which is really nice. Dragonite, Blaziken, all these, of course, before boost, but they can all have ways to boost, but it hits them very hard. They can't take a hit and boost in its face or anything like that. And then these faster ones don't really want to switch into it either. Zarude and Mew are pretty bulky. Zarude's got to be careful about a Flare Blitz, but it could switch into a Head Smash maybe if it's a real bulky Zarude, or Mew as well could. But it's still kind of a tough switch in for him. I've got Extreme Speed as another option for speed control, and actually I have Flame Charge as another option for speed control, and it allows Arcanine to be a possible win condition for me as well. I didn't really have much of a win condition on my team outside of, I guess, Diancie and Iron Valiant can too, but I like that Flame Charge on Arcanine. If things line up right, it could be a nice win condition for me. And Extreme Speed can help revenge kill some of these faster things like Iron Bundle or Dragonite or Blaziken after they get a speed increase. Oh, and I didn't mention the moves on Iron Valiant. Moonblast, Close Combat, Mix Attack are pretty standard stuff. I've got both Destiny Bomb and Encore. I didn't really care too much about the about any of the coverage moves. Technically, Poison Jab could be helpful for Clefable, or like a Terra Blast if I go Terra Steel could be helpful for Clefable. But I don't know. I didn't really like the Terra Steel because it makes it even weaker to something like Blaziken or Excadrill. And without Terra, Poison Jab doesn't really hit Clefable, so I didn't really like that. I've got plenty of other ways to beat that Clefable with the rest of my team. Galarian Slowking hits it for 2-hit KO with Sludge Bomb. Hisuian Arcanine hits it for 2-hit KO with Head Smash. Diancie can 2-hit KO. If I Meteor Beam first, then Moonblast can hit for the 2-hit KO. So the rest of my team handles that Clefable very well, and so I'm not super worried about it. I like the possibilities for Destiny Bond and Encourse, especially since Iron Bound is going to be more on the back seat for this team. Destiny Bond could be a really nice way to guarantee that I take something down that maybe is trying to set up on me, or you know, if I play it right, you know, could take down a Blaziken that's got some speed boost, or you know, Dragonite, or Excadrill, or Iron Bottle, something that's got some boost. And then Encore, of course, is super good against anything that may try to set up. Really good against Clefable or Mew, or one of these defensive Pokemon that are going to try to just heal or set up or use status or anything like that. I got Terra Ground on Iron Valiant just to prevent the paralysis from something like Clefable or Mew or Rotom. I figured that's probably a little better than Terra Electric. Electric would make it weak to Excadrill, and I didn't really like the being weak to the ground moves there. So ground is decent. Again, I don't think this Iron Bound is going to be huge in this one. I think it's going to be more of a Arcanine and Diancie focus. Defensively, I had to get a couple of Pokemon in here to help out. So Galarian Slowking and Mandibuzz are the main defensive core of the team. Galarian Slowking is the main switch in for Iron Bundle. It also helps a lot with Glamora and Clefable, as well as helping with some of the other lower tier stuff like Ribombee. Maybe Mewtwo to a lesser extent. But yeah, it's stab moves look real nice against this team. Sludge Bomb hits real hard against Clefable and Zarude, and Future Sight is very nice. The only thing that is immune, obviously, is Zarude, which is weak to the poison moves. And then Excadrill and Orthworm, they are also resistant to Future Sight, but they're weak to Flamethrower. So I threw Flamethrower on there in that last slot to possibly hit them on a switch, or even I could even stay in against Orthworm because it doesn't really threaten Slowking with much. So Slowking can hit the Orthworm super effectively. So that combination of moves is really good offensively for Slowking. He's going to have a hard time switching into them, I think. If I hit a Future Sight, then either Flamethrower or Sludge Bomb could be really good. Just depends on what I expect him to switch in next. That could be really good, as well as Chilly Reception. You know, hitting a Future Sight and then Chilly Reception out to something that has a better matchup on one of these Pokemon. Mandibuzz is the physically defensive switch-in for the physical attackers. It's very helpful against Dragonite, Excadrill, Zarude, and Blaziken. Foul play is huge to be able to do consistent damage. A lot of these guys like to boost their attack, so it is very good to have foul play to shut that down. Blaziken is definitely the toughest one of them, and then Dragonite could be. It depends on the Terra type that he brings. You know, Dragonite does get Ice Spinner, and he could be Terra Fairy. Terra Fairy with Terra Blast is definitely something I should be expecting, but the rest of my team will hopefully be able to pressure the Dragonite offensively. Slowking is able to do solid damage. Arcanine, Diancie, and Iron Valiant all threaten to hit it super effectively before Terra, at least, and then Rotom's able to hit it with Thunder Wave to cripple it. So there's nothing that's a super easy setup opportunity for Dragonite, so that's one of the big things I'm leaning on for it, for countering Dragonite. Mandibuzz easily handles the Zarude and the Excadrill, so it helps a lot against both of those. I guess Rock Slide with, like, if he Sword Stances and then uses Rock Slide, Excadrill can overpower the Mandibuzz. So I did want to bring in something else bulky as well. So I've got Rotom in the last slot, just generically bulky with some speed Rotom. Ability Shield for the Mold Breaker Excadrill. That shuts down Excadrill pretty well. The only thing, I mean, he could do like some weird item stuff with it, maybe. I don't really know if Excadrill has any way to do that. It obviously doesn't get knockoff, but there may be some other weird tech that he could pull out for that. Rotom is pretty nice against Dragonite and Blaziken as well, threatening them with Thunder Wave, especially before any boosts. It's faster, so they can't just set up in its face. Of course, they both could use Substitute. That's a possibility, but Rotom's offensive moves, Volt Switch and Hydro Pump, are threatening enough to at least to be able to potentially break a sub and keep them in check, as well as pivoting out to something maybe that would handle that matchup better. Yeah, so there's the team. That's about it. I don't know if I'm going to be using Terra with Iron Valiant. It's typically my main choice for Terra, obviously, because it's my Terra captain, and Iron Valiant is incredibly strong. But I think the Diancie or the Arcanine is probably going to be more likely. I think Diancie is the most obvious one for me because boosting the power of Moonblast is very good for it. It hits a lot of things very hard with the Moonblast. And on top of that, it gets rid of the rock typing, which really hurts Diancie defensively in a lot of scenarios. The only thing that it really helps with is against Blaziken, being able to take a Flare Blitz more easily. But it also means that it's only neutral to close combat. So one way or the other, it's going to be neutral to one of its stab moves. The Terra does remove the weakness to Excadrill's ground, to ground moves from Dragonite, removes the weakness to Zarude's grass moves, Iron Bundle's water moves. So it definitely helps offensively to remove those weaknesses. I can set up a Trick Room, and Diancie's got really good natural bulk with a lot of HP investments, so it's able to get a Trick Room pretty reliably. And a lot of my team can really use that Trick Room too. Even though I haven't totally built a Trick Room team, I think a lot of them really can. Obviously, Slowking is very slow. Even though it's a defensive set, it still hits really hard against a lot of them just because its moves are strong and hit hard. He doesn't really have a great switch in for any of them. And then, of course, Mandibuzz and Rotom, and even Arcanine, who's a middle speed, could be helpful. If I Trick Room against something that's got a +1 or something that's just fast like Iron Bundle or Rabombi or Zarude, then Arcanine would be able to outspeed and Trick Room, so it could still make use of that against some of the real fast Pokemon. And then Terrifier on Arcanine could be useful as well if I want to boost the power of Flare Blitz or Flame Charge. I think Diancie is more likely because the attacks from Arcanine hit so hard anyway. I don't know if it's going to be necessary, but maybe we'll see if it comes up, and it's a possibility. Oh, a couple of the things about the EVs on this team. The defensive EVs on Diancie allow it to survive a +1 Adamant Dragonite's Earthquake. So if he gets Dragon Dance, it'll survive that Earthquake. It also survives 2 close combats from a Jolly Blaziken that doesn't have leftovers. So it was more of a fast maybe setup, maybe trying to do something that lets it live longer. Then Diancie survives that. Either 2 unboosted close combats or 1 +2 close combat, either one. And then the other thing I guess that's just kind of more obvious. I guess the thing I had noted down is the reason I went for the speed on Rotom is it allows it to speed tag with Glimmora, but also really big is it outspeeds Blaziken and Dragonite, so it could potentially cripple them with Thunder Wave, or in case of Blaziken, just kill it with Hydro Pump. I think Rotom is probably the most likely lead for me this week because it's kind of not super vital in checking anything. It checks some of the stuff like obviously Excadrill, it easily handles that, but Mandibuzz does as well. Mandibuzz and Galarian Slowking have a really nice defensive synergy core for me, so it's not necessarily something I absolutely need. It's a lot easier to play aggressively with a Rotom than with anything else. A lot of the other stuff on my team I want to be a little bit more careful about keeping alive, so Rotom was probably the most likely lead. Plus, having Volt Switch on a lead is nice. I can pivot out to something else if I like to, and the Excadrill is the only thing that'd be immune to the Volt Switch, and It's kind of risky for him to stay in on that with a possible Hydro Pump or Will-O-Wisp until he finds out, I don't have Will-O-Wisp. But still, I think Rotom's probably the most likely lead. We'll figure out. I don't know what the win con is going to be. It could be Diancie, could be Arcanine, could be Iron Valiant. It really just depends on how things go in the early game and what Pokemon he brings and doesn't bring to the match. But I've got a lot of options. I think Iron Valiant, Diancie, and Arcanine they can all wall break. They can all clean up at the end. So I've got a lot of versatility and options for this week. All right. Well, I will see you guys in just a second when it is time to battle Joey. All right, time for battle. All right, here we go. Yay, no Clefable, no Zarude, no Blaziken. Oh, no Blaziken, thank God. No Dunsparce, no Earthworm, no Rotom. Okay. All right, I think I'm prepared for this team pretty well. I got the wrong. Let's see good at. Oh, I got the wrong screen up. There we go. Okay. I think I lead with Rotom like I had planned originally. He may lead with Rabombi. I mean, I assume if he's got Rabombi, he's gonna use that as a sticky web setter, right? I assume so. I'm just worried a little bit about like Stun Spore from Rabombi. I guess that's my main concern from it. Why I don't just go to something more offensive like Diancie or Sweet Arcanine. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave with Rotom like I planned. Play pretty aggressively with it. Hydro Pump plus Volt Switch does get the KO. And he can't paralyze the Rotom. He could also lead with Glimmora as well. In which case I like Rotom in that matchup. With Hydro Pump. I'm gonna have Energy Ball. But I still like Hydro Pump doing a ton of damage to Glimmora. And defensively, Slowking handles Glimmora pretty well. He led with the Dragonite. Okay, that's interesting. No, I don't know. I'm wondering what he's gonna do. Oh. When I'm in battle and anxious about it, I click all over my window and accidentally minimize or maximize the screen all over the place. That's why the screen goes black half the time or gets small on the screen. What's the Terra type? Terra normal on Dragonite. I wonder if he's running like... It'd be pretty cool if he ran Facade specifically for this. I think I go... Do I just go for the Volt Switch and just go to Mandibuzz? Probably. I don't want to risk him having sub if I Thunder Wave, and at least Volt Switch does a little bit. At least it breaks the multi-scale. He switched, okay. Balloon, okay, pop the balloon. Cool. Do I go to Diancie? Probably. Do I go to Slowking? Honestly, Slowking looks real solid here because Future Sight's going to hit pretty hard. He doesn't have Zarude. He doesn't have Orthworm. Excadrill obviously can take a Future Sight, but he doesn't want to switch that into a Flamethrower. I think I may... I have to be careful. I don't want to take too much damage with Slowking. Because I still need it for the Iron Bundle. Earth Power doesn't do a ton to Slowking. I think I go for Slowking and Future Sight. Yeah, get the Future Sight. If he goes Excadrill, I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna Future Sight. If he stays with this and gets hazards, then I don't know. I don't know if I want to go for Flamethrower or for Chilly Reception. One of the two options, though, for sure. We went for Rocks. Okay. He got Rocks. Mandibuzz has easy time against Excadrill, and it's pretty nice in the matchup on Dragonite too, so they're both going to have a hard time breaking it. So I can get rid of hazards there, and I've got boots on 3 Pokemon anyway. Mandibuzz, Arcanine, and Slowking all have boots. Presumably he's going to switch. Dragonite doesn't easily take it. Or, well, I guess Dragonite can take the Future Sight because of multi-scale. If I Flamethrower and break the multi-scale, then Future Sight does about half. Okay. You could also go to, like, Mew. Let's just go Chilly Reception. The Power Gem, okay. I could go to Diancie and try. Really do like that as an option here. Get Trick Room with Diancie. He's not going to want to stay in with the Glimmora because it'll die to the Future Sight. Is it Terra? It's Terra Rock. Okay, so does it still die to? It was Terra Rock. Okay, he lives that, but Diancie obviously cleans up. So, well, okay, who does Future Sight? He wants to bring in Mew or Excadrill probably on the Future Sight. So I want someone that he doesn't want those two in against. I guess Mandibuzz is good in both the matchups. I don't really want Burn on me from Mew, though. And I don't want to give him free opportunities to set up like a special attacker set. Diancie would be really nice, you know, if I get Trick Room up and then I can hit a Meteor Beam. Plus one... Mouse double clicking. Plus one Meteor Beam has a chance to KO Mew. Depends on how bulky he is. Okay. I think I'd go to it. He doesn't really have anything slow at all. In fact, his slowest Pokemon is Dragonite. Alright, we go to Diancie. And we go for the Trick Room. You go Mew or Excadrill. Excadrill takes a lot from Earth Power. Depends how much bulk he has, I guess, but Earth Power plus, I guess he could also, well, if he takes a Future Sight hit, he won't have Air Balloon, so could be Shuka Berry, I guess. I've got a few things that would, like Excalibur, Lando, Crocodile. But I'll use ground moves, so he could be Shuka Berry. I do have to be careful about that. Could be worth using Terra on Diancie, so I'm not super weak to Iron Head. I can survive an Iron Head and pretty easily survive an Earthquake if I Terra. I'd have to Terra for sure for that, though. Yeah, let's get some wall breaking with Diancie. And hopefully clean up some room for Arcanine or Iron Valiant to clean up. So I think Mew and Glimmora are probably going to be the toughest for the two of them just because they're both bulky. If I get a speed increase on Arcanine, outspeed the whole unboosted team. Okay. Damn, I should have gone Terra Electric Iron Valiant. Well, I'm probably gonna. I think it's more likely I'm gonna Terra it with Diancie rather than Iron Valiant anyway. So I was gonna say Terra Electric would have been useful against Stun Spore from Rabombi. I'm surprised he didn't lead with Rabombi.
Dragonite lead is kind of odd. He's done that before this season, though, so I shouldn't be too surprised. Trick Room looks really nice. For Diancie and Slowking both to just get a lot of damage in here. Okay, got the Trick Room resisted. Did 22% from that damage. It's not that bulky. This set has full HP. Might be like a nasty plot. Yeah, it fits in more of an offensive range then. All right, well then immediate. Oh god damn! I keep fidgeting and clicking my browser window. Meteor Beam is a guaranteed kill if he doesn't have any offensive investment here. So we just go for the Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam gets the kill if he doesn't have bulk, which, yeah, according to that calc, it didn't look like he had much. Come on, don't miss. Oh, let's go. Huge! Any other Terra types I should be looking out for? Bug, Ribombee, Ground, Excadrill, Rock, Gomora, normal Dragonite. Okay. Okay. Do I just go for the Moonblast? Wait, if I Terra Fairy, I might kill it with a Moonblast. Holy shit, dude. And I'm no longer weak to Earthquake. He can't do much with like, I think I just fucking send it, dude. Holy shit. If he doesn't Terra, I have a chance to kill it. If he does Terra, it's a 2-hit KO still. And this removes my weakness to Earthquake and Iron Head if he's carrying them. Or at least Earthquake. I would still be a bit weak to Iron Head, but not super weak. Extreme Speed doesn't do very much to me. Alright, we Terra Fairy Moonblast. Fucking send it, Diancie. Let's fucking go. Extreme Speed has a low chance to kill me here. 18.1%, and that's if he's adamant rather than jolly. I don't know, he could be jolly to outspeed like my Rotom and Sinistcha. I don't know. I have 2 more turns of Trick Room. Alright, we send the Moonblast. Man, I really hope I live this. One more turn of Trick Room. Okay. I mean, Trick Room's gonna end here and Diancie's gonna die, presumably. But this has been incredibly good for me. Nuke the Mew, got the Dragonite down, forced him to Terra. Opens up really good holes for my other Pokemon, Arcanine and Iron Valiant. So they're getting lots of room set up for them. I'm trying to think if there's any value in not killing this. Damn, Arcanine doesn't even get a kill on it. I was curious if Arcanine could hit the flame charge on it, but it resists it, and that's pretty weak of a move, so it does not get the kill there. I think we just go for this kill then. Yeah. Obviously, he's going to come in probably with Excadrill, I assume. Iron Head gets the kill for sure. That's the reliable thing to do, at least. If he does anything else, then I Trick Room. He has Earthquake on Dragonite, so presumably doesn't have Iron Head. He would probably use that. How much does that Earthquake do? 48%. I think it's Choice Band. Yeah, it's gotta be Choice Band. Adamant Choice Band Earthquake does 41 to 49. So yeah, it's gotta be a Choice Band Dragonite. That's good to know. I should have done that cow. I guess it didn't really matter too much. Okay, so he has Choice Band. He's gonna be locked into whatever move he uses here. Is it worth switching to Mandibuzz yet or no? Obviously, you could Ice Spinner, which would be risky. Let's go straight to Mandibuzz. Extreme Speed Earthquake. Extreme Speed gets a 2-KO on Roto. Damn. There's a lot of damage to Mandibuzz. I think I just keep Mandibuzz alive. I can definitely defog. Yeah, I think it would be value to get rid of the rocks so that Rotom and Iron Valiant don't take damage when they come in. Valiant resists it, but still, it's extra chip damage that I could avoid. Just in case he doesn't do something that gets the kill, I go for another. Do I go for a Trick Room or nah? I don't think I do. Nah. Okay. Use Choice Band. For sure. Do we go to Arcanine? Okay, hold up. Might be an opportunity for Arcanine here. Arcanine's got boots, so it's not a big deal. With the rocks, I don't have to worry about that. Shooting speed is 39 to 47%. I could get a flame charge. Oh my god, at +2, it would be a speed tie with Iron Bundle. I think I remember that coming up when I was doing calc team building. Do I go for Arcanine here? Or do I go Mandibuzz first and defog here? If I go Mandibuzz, who's going to go to Rabombi or Iron Bundle? I don't really want to allow the Rabombi to come in for free. I like putting the pressure on him with Arcanine. Like, if I could get a speed increase first, he doesn't really have any way to handle the Arcanine now, too. With Mew and Glimmora dead, those are really the only things that could take a hit at all. He can only revenge kill. So if I get a speed increase and this Iron Bundle is not booster energy, let's go for Arcanine. I know he's Choice Band. I resist that. So go for Flame Charge to get the speed boost. And see what happens. He may, obviously he can still use Iron Bundle to revenge kill if he's got booster energy on it. Obviously I'll know when he brings it in if he does. If he doesn't have booster energy, then Arcanine is faster at +1 and gets the kill with a head smash. And it's really helpful that Arcanine resists the extreme speed from Dragonite, so he can't revenge kill easily with that guy. Could be a Sash or something on Rabombi or Excadrill potentially. Don't really know though. Hard to say. Though Rabombi doesn't really threaten Arcanine with anything except maybe like a... I don't know. Do I kill him with another? Yeah. I should. If I get a second one, it's a speed tie against Iron Bundle. I think I fucking go for it, man. If I don't get the kill, I can actually extreme speed against this Dragonite. It would be faster. Wait for another flame charge. And also the benefit of stacking him sacking the Dragonite for me is harder time revenge killing the Iron Valiant. I don't know, Iron Valiant's really just going to be on the back, just in the back seat in this game. I thought it may be a clutch like cleanup, just like finish up a couple kills. Destiny Bond is super valuable here too. Encore could be very valuable depending on what Iron Bundle and Rabombi have on them. Alright, cool. It's a speed tie with Iron Bundle, unless he's speed crept. Don't miss his head smash. Don't. Oh my god, let's go. Oh man, that was huge. Huge win. Huge 5-0. Huge game pursuing Arcanine. I finally got it to pay off. This is the kind of thing it could have done in the first week against Starlock, spamming head smash. If it hit the attacks, it would have got 2 or 3 kills in that game. But it had to freaking miss. But did not miss this time. It came in clutch. Oh my god, let's go. Alright. Well, that's huge. For my morale going into the end of the season. I've got one more game. So this is going to help me a lot. What's that? The 4th win? So at worst, I'm 4-7. It's not that bad. Maybe I end up 5-6. If I end 5-6, then this won't be the worst season I've ever had. If I'm 4-7, I think it'll be the worst record. I think that ties my worst record, but I think I'll probably have a better differential this game because I've had a lot of close losses and a lot of big wins. So yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in a bit on the recap. All right, guys. Well, that was a good win. Happy to have that one. Everything really went according to plan really well there. Diancie did really good wall breaking, and Arcanine cleaned up perfectly. Like, Diancie killed the 2 things that Arcanine doesn't hit super effectively. Well, of course, Dragonite had Terror at that point, but it killed the Glamora, killed the Mew, and got Dragonite down to half health. So Arcanine had a really easy time just finishing up the Dragonite, and then it hits everything else super effectively. So it really worked out perfectly according to plan. I didn't need the Iron Valiant this week, so that's a rare change of pace. Normally, I'm very reliant on the Iron Valiant, but this week did not need it, thankfully. That is week 10 on the books. Hoping to get another win next week. I do know at this point I am eliminated from playoffs. There's been enough people in I think it was League 3. It was either League 2 or 3 that have 6 wins that the wild card spot is definitely going to be somebody with 6 wins at least. So I'm eliminated from that spot, and there's enough people with wins in League 1. So I'm knocked out of it, but hoping to get a win to finish off the season. Finishing 5-6 would be pretty solid. My last time with Iron Valiant, I was also 5-6, but I definitely was not enjoying that season as much as I am this season. I've really liked this one. I really like the team I drafted. It's been a lot of fun, even though things have been a little bit disappointing. Oh, and hopefully the mic sounds a little better here. I was messing with my microphone settings between the last recording and this one, so hopefully it sounds a little better. Got that audio settings tab down there on the window. If you notice that, I saved my settings there just in case I need to come back to them. But I hope it sounds better. It sounded better from the testing, so hopefully it sounds better on YouTube. Well, that is week 10. We've only got one more week to go. I am facing off against Sot next week, who is filling in for Australian Ryan. Final week of the season. Hopefully we can finish out strong with one more win and look forward to it. And then we've got a whole nother season coming up soon.
I look forward to that as well. I'll see you guys next week.